Welcome to the shooting show. This week we go back in time to last season to a Lincolnshire duck shoot followed by a pigeon flight. Plus we bring you all the latest news from the shooting world. We've delved into the archives and pulled out a video from last season that never aired. A day's duck shooting topped off with some pigeon roost shooting. Loading up with the Ely bismuth cartridges, Jason and myself join a team of German guests on a couple of ponds in Lincolnshire. A permanent marker removes any confusion as we draw numbers for the shooting pegs, followed by a quick briefing covering safety and quarry.
Lead-free shot for the ducks. It's imperative we stick to the law. After that we'll come back to the pub, and then I think we take some soup or something, and then we go on into the woods to shoot pigeons, Tauber. Okay?
Look here. Too new to look here. Look here. For this one.
As quietly as possible, the guns make their way into position round the pond, while the beaters bring in the far flanks to move the ducks in the right direction. Jason, ever the clown, reminds us why I'm so thankful for the Irish Sea.
Woodcock. Oh, nice.
Finishing the duck drive with some spectacular shots, Toby pitches into the pond for a retrieve.
Perfect. Good boy. Toby. Lovely. Right, that's we're going on that. We're just going on that. Okay,
On to the second drive. I recharge my pockets with more Ely bismuth and switch back to my good old Browning lightweight 12 bore. Again, trying to get the guns into position around the second lake as quietly as possible. Teal and Mallard could both be in attendance. Jason starts to preen himself ready for the camera.
So all the guns are in position. There's quite a few wild duck in this area. It's all the pond stroke lake because it's a big pond. So it's ringed with these willows, so we've all got in nice and quiet. There's the first shot, so teal imminent. Thanks, Jess. Behind you. Stop looking for mine and look at your own.
And again.
As Jason and Toby continue to take ducks like Butch and Sundance, my neighbouring German gives self-appraisal his shooting.
Jost! My man and his hound there picking up my birds as they should do.
Jason finishing the drive with one of my ducks yet again. The bar steward.
Get on.
You shot some nice ones there, Pete. Well done.
Thank you. No, you did.
Here. There you go. Says you shot this one, Pete. You've been generous.
Thank you, Toby.
Meticulous pick us up sweep the area before we move off for a spot of lunch and then on for some evening roost shooting at pigeons.
Has any coming off this drive yet? Yeah, so it's just a short day's clean up on the estate for kind of end of season duck shoot really. 2 drives. One was a smaller pond with perhaps 120 ducks on there maybe, and then that kind of we got in there and a lot of them jumped off, but you seem to be in the right place when they came back.
Yeah, we had a few nice ones came back from, they went away for a few minutes and then started to come back in 2s and 3s.
Yeah.
And we shot some nice ones and a couple of nice pigeons flying about as well.
Yeah, I saw you shoot a very high pigeon. But they came back in dribs and drabs, which was perfect.
Yeah.
and then when the beaters came through, the remaining ducks that had kind of gone up into the sort of wood end, into the rushes, then there's quite a lot, probably 30 or 40 got off, and again they came back in 4s and 5s, and there wasn't any big droves of them coming in.
No, it was just nice though, and got a few nice shots, and it wasn't mental like with 40-50 birds in the air at once, but it was like real duck shooting when they come back in 1s and 2s, and you can pick your shots and get some nice ones.
Yeah, no, quite, yeah. And I have to say, using the bismuth, it's no different to using lead. It really isn't. I was very impressed with it.
It's my first time actually using bismuth, and I've used steel before, and I've always felt with steel you definitely lose 10%, I think, especially on your range, on ducks especially. But the bismuth, I mean, as you said, there was no difference in the lead at all, and I've got some really good kills at 40-50 yards, and pigeon I shot was probably 60 yards and killed a stone dead. So no, really impressed with the bismuth.
Yeah.
Definitely a good step above the steel when you're trying to kill stuff at range.
Jason heads off to the relative shelter of some lower ground, while I have plumped for a higher wood that should prove fruitful as it is more exposed to any wind. I down my first pigeon before the cameraman is even ready, a good start for me at least. Watching the pigeons is the key to finding the best spots. Quick, decisive moves are the order of the day.
Yeah, using the old Ely yes. Do like it when the plan comes together. But yes, using the old Ely pigeon, 30 grams, 6.5. Clearly the work. I do like using these on the pigeon, I must admit, and cracking value too. Well, the forecast was for no wind. It was a bit still, and I'm sure where Jason is down in the lee there, in the valley bottom, it's still. But we're up on the hilltop here, and it's quite breezy, and the pigeons we can't see or we can't reach, they're landing in and getting blown about and moving, so it's kind of working for us. So yeah, long may it continue. And there's not a lot of shooting coming from the valley bottom there, so I suspect we're in a better position than Mr. Doyle. Well, this is probably going to be the last 15-20 minutes. Lights fading fast. But we'll see what the last 15 minutes brings. Keep still. Both those birds came in exactly the same position. It was just like shooting driven grouse, absolutely exactly the same position. Well, what a cracking end to a fantastic day. A good mixed day, duck flighting and driving some wild duck, and yeah, look, couldn't get any better. To finish off with an impromptu pigeon flight, that went really well. It's good. I maybe shot, there you go, there's some more coming in. Yeah, couldn't get better than that really. Probably got a dozen birds, but I think it is this time to call it a day.
Well, that was an enjoyable afternoon and evening at the Ducks and Pigeons there. And now, it's the Shooting Show News.
This is the Shooting Show News. A consultation has opened on the future of shooting on public land in Wales. Natural Resources Wales wants to hear from members of the public about the use of its land. It's initially made a positive response to the evidence, saying firearms should continue to be used for wildlife management, but Basque has warned that the job is not yet done. You can make your views known by heading to the web address on screen now. The closing date is the 25th of April. The ISSF has met the Commonwealth Games Federation to discuss the 2022 Commonwealth Games, which are not set to include shooting. Birmingham has not put shooting on its provisional list of sports. It would be the first time in nearly 50 years that shooting hasn't featured in the Games. At the meeting, the CGF said Birmingham's bid had been compliant and shooting still wouldn't be on the list. The ISSF said it would be ready to step in and hold shooting events if anything changed. Entries are now open for British Shooting's Shotgun Series. Aiming to crown the best Olympic trap and skeet shooters in the UK, the series will consist of 3 rounds in each discipline before a grand final at the end of the season. The first round will be at Nuthampstead on the 17th and 18th of March. You can enter online at the British Shooting website. And finally, we'll see you at the British Shooting Show this weekend. Making its first appearance at the NEC, the show's 10th outing overall will be bigger than ever, with more international airgun brands making an appearance. We'll be there scouring the halls for the latest product news. And when we're not filming, we'll be on the Future Publishing stand with Airgun Shooter, Sporting Rifle and Clay Shooting magazines. Come and say hello. That was the Shooting Show News.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of Basque, it's time to join now. Basque, looking after your sport, looking after you. This has been The Shooting Show.